episode for us. First episode jitters because we're
trying.
We're trying something new.
We got a little jitters.
Want
to make sure it goes over well.
We're doing because we've been themeless for a while.
Quite themeless.
Yeah, we've just been doing rambles, so we decided to just do a whole new podcast. Chuck it out the window. Start fresh.
Well, not so much a whole new podcast.
No,
but
just a little side one.
Yeah, I mean, still going under the Mars title.
Yeah. To reintroduce ourselves, I'm Matt. That's Rob. That's it.
And do these kind folks know that the Mars actually stands for
The Matt and Rob Show?
The Matt and Rob Show. You're
well,
right.
I do not know.
You're right. Did you know that?
I did not.
Oh.
Email in if you knew that. themarspod@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we've decided. This is more like I really enjoyed it, and I thought maybe this would be fun for us to do. But I've been enjoying the Orville, Seth MacFarlane's The Orville. So I thought we'd do an Orville episode by episode podcast. I know that this season's 12 episodes long, so it'll just be a couple of 12 episodes or not, and.
Yeah, well, less than 12 episodes because we're starting midway through.
We're starting midway through, but they have a 2-week break, so we might
they?
have a chance to catch up now.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
so we're going to do 2 episodes today,
Mm-hmm.
not in this episode, but for us today, and then let's take it from there. We're kind of
testing the water.
Yeah,
see how it
let's
goes.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, what's your Star Trek knowledge, Rob?
I don't like it.
Okay. Ooh, good start.
That's it. I'm not a Star Trekker. I often like to add the A instead of the E and call it Star Trek on purpose.
Ooh. Aren't you fun?
I've watched a couple Star Trek episodes or documentaries.
Okay.
As I usually do.
Like the Trekkies 1 and 2?
The Trekkies 1 and 2, and I think there's been 1, maybe 2 more that I've watched.
Oh. I've seen both Trekkies.
I do listen to
the one in the second one when it went back to one of the guys and he's like, "My life hasn't improved in any way."
Is that the one with the dentist?
One
of them has a dentist practice, and it's all Star Trek themed.
One's like wife left him and stuff, and
I don't know
like since 1 and 2, and he tried to follow some Star Trek dream, but it just horribly went wrong.
That's what happens when you follow fake things.
It's more like it's. I don't see it as a cult, but it's definitely that big. It's like people know how to speak Klingon. People know, like it's something that like people take very seriously. Like the blueprints of the ships, the engineering, all the Star Trek talk during all the scientific talk is meant to be kind of as accurate as possible.
What in the documentary?
No, in the Next Generation, when they're like, how do we run away from this black hole? Oh, we need more power to the blah blah blah. So let's convert this into blah 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 blah. It's meant to be it's meant to be sort of accurate for.
Oh, like how the physics behind it.
Yeah,
like the
math. Which it's future math.
So did they just bullshit it up until the next gen?
I do not know about the original series. I have to fact check that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're not talking about Star Trek. We're talking about a homage to Star Trek.
It's a homage.
I would say so because I was talking to Rob about this, and that this got released around the same time as Star Trek Discovery, which is very much like the new movies, the J.J. Abrams new movies. And I didn't like it, and I realized that other Star Trek fans didn't like it, but other Star Trek fans liked the Orville. But the ratings liked Star Trek Discovery, but not the Orville. So it's kind of like the fans are happy with this show, but it's not doing the best. But like I can tell off the bat that Fox has backed it up because it has the money.
The Orville has the money. They're doing pretty good. It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks great. They have like a uniform. The ships are pretty, like the makeup and stuff. Some of the plot, like like some of the effects are hit and miss, but it is like the first couple episodes, like the first pilot episodes or so.
Well, what I've noticed with the TV shows, the majority of the special effects are going to suffer, just because they don't have that big budget.
Yeah.
The big budget to do it all. I mean, same with The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead's different because it seems like they probably bring a whole shitload more money, but they're still hit and miss with that.
Well, the thing is, I watched the first episode of Doctor Who this morning with my girlfriend. The first episode of the season that's back now. You know what I mean? Like, it's been around for 50 years, but 2005 is when it came back with season 1.
Okay.
And then like the quality compared to season 8, it's on now, 8 or 9, I can't remember. Like the money, that it's completely different. It's nuts.
Really?
Anyway, should we jump into it, or what are you doing?
Yeah, totally. I'm sorry. All I was trying to do is just trying to pull up the viewer ratings for both shows to see.
Well, do it on your own time, Rob.
Well, trying to see what it was so we can compare the your Discovery and the Orville.
Well, the Orville is certainly is sitting on Rotten Tomatoes at 19%, and Star Trek Discovery is sitting on, oh, it's not telling me, 86%.
Wait, Orville's at 86%?
No, Star Trek Discovery's on 85%, and Orville's on 13.
Ah.
No, 19. Apologies, 19.
So people aren't really liking it, huh?
It's not. No, as I was saying, they're not that they're not liking it. They're just. I believe that the Star Trek fans find it more like Star Trek. It's incredibly like Star Trek, which I can get into as we talk about it. But the way that the scenes, each scene would start with the picture of the ship just drifting through space, and then cut to whoever walking through the hallway, like halfway into a conversation about something. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, and then like, there's no way I can beat you in basketball. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, and emergency. Yeah. Like that kind of attention to detail that they're doing in this is incredibly nostalgic, which is what is pulling me towards this.
Could it not be me plagiaristic?
No, because if it was plagiaristic, it would. Because I think some of the plot is really interesting, and when I first started watching it, I was expecting it to be like a super comedy and super kind of like, like much show. Yeah, much like Family Guy, like about like 30 cutaways per episode kind of thing. But this, I'm almost convinced now after watching 6 episodes that Seth MacFarlane literally just wrote a sci-fi show, and they were like, okay, Seth, you got to throw in a few jokes. Like, he didn't mean to make it funny. Right.
Well, I think it's definitely meant to be like a sci-fi comedy.
But just the way some of it's written, I don't think his original idea was to make it funny. But then they were like, okay, like, you're Seth MacFarlane, you have to.
Well, I doubt he set out to make it just completely serious.
I don't know. The more I watch it, the more I kind of see that it seems serious. And then like he's like, okay, let's make this show and let's have these like 4 characters who are always cracking jokes. So whenever they're in a room, they're going to be the ones who crack a joke. Like
right, but you have one of those characters in every shot for the most part.
Yeah. So that means that.
So I mean,
there's
4 characters that are supposed to be the comedy relief.
Yeah.
And they're at least.
So
one
like,
of
if there's something super
scene,
serious going on, and then fucking one walks in and goes like, "Oh, who farted?" like, trying to relieve the tension. So that's kind of how he got around it being all serious.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I disagree.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like it's recorded in any sort of a serious tone. Like, I mean, it definitely seems like they're trying to not be just a comedy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, you have your characters. They're always making wisecracks. So if they're doing it all the time, it would have to be a comedy. I mean, I don't think he set out to make a drama.
No, and yeah, no, you're right, and it's not. But I feel like there's a draft somewhere, a first draft of this show that's incredibly more serious.
Perhaps.
Should we jump into the first episode?
Yeah, let's.
We're just
go.
off it.
Well, let's go with the current episode.
Oh, do you want to wait?
And then we'll cover because we're coming in late.
Okay, so we're just gonna go right to 6.
Let's go to 6 and.
I mean 5. Sorry, 5.
No. 6 is a new episode we just watched, or that was just released on Thursday. It's called something about a krill.
It's called Krill.
Just Krill.
It's just called Krill.
Oh, okay. That's the most current one, and then because we're behind, we're gonna do current. Oldest.
Episode 6, Krill.
So we'll do a 6.
You are correct.
This one will be a 6.
I wrote 5 by a mistake.
Next week will be 7 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to we're just going to jump in on 6. Okay, so this is, I was going to say, this is, you know, like with like any show, it takes at least 5 or 6 episodes to really get its own going. You know what I mean? Like to really feel itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I find.
For my opinion, Walking Dead did it by episode 2. The first episode was real like, oh, there's zombies. Oh, look at all the zombies. Zombies. But then by 2, it was really...
Well, that's with me, if it's a show, very rarely do I catch a show from the start and run with it.
Yeah.
I usually come in about a half to more, or at earliest a half a season, so I can binge on, 3 to 6 episodes.
Much like now, you walked in on episode 6.
So I walked in on episode 6. I watched like 4 and 5. I'll have to rewatch them because I didn't completely pay attention. But like Breaking Bad,
you had to jump in the middle of Breaking Bad?
I did.
Ooh.
And it was interesting enough to where it's okay. Let me get the backstory, and still to get settled into it. Yeah. I still had to go about 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. And it was great. A lot of things, Arrested Development, all this shit, usually takes me a good 2-3 episodes to be like, okay, these are the characters, this is what we're doing, here we go.
Okay.
This one, it's a little more easy to go into because it really doesn't seem like there's that much of an intense backstory on anybody. I mean, you've got Ed and his wife. What's his wife's name?
Kelly Grayson.
That's her name in the show?
Yeah.
So you got Ed and Kelly. You can tell, like, I didn't know they were married. Or they were previously married.
But you can tell that they're mad at each other.
When the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, there's a little thing going there. But none of the characters are really deep, so it makes it easier to get into.
Well, that's what not like much. I guess this we should just change the name of this podcast to compare to Star Trek. That's what I can send you a link to a decent Star Trek episode that I like that I think is interesting, and you can automatically understand what these characters want from each episode. Like you will get it. Like Worf, the Klingon, he'll walk in and you can tell like, oh, that guy is a serious guy. He's serious. He's honor brand. And then Data will walk in behind and be like, that's a robot with a clueless face. He can't, like. Right. I understand.
It's just personality traits.
Yeah, but they wear them on their sleeves in a way. Like you can same with these characters, same with Malloy and Lamar, the 2 pilots that then the number 1 helmsman and the navigator. You can tell that they're jokers like from the start. You know what I mean?
Right,
the way they talk, the way they act, and that Bortus is just, I'm serious.
Right.
I don't understand jokes, kind of thing. You know, like you can just tell
all
right away.
All they're doing is they're taking all the personality traits, it seems, from Star Trek and just moving them over. Yeah. Which again is a little bitey.
Which is also
whatever.
By doing that, I appreciate them doing that because once again you understand exactly who these characters are.
Coming
from
the Star Trek world, I'm just like, okay, cool, this is another set of characters.
But that means that they can just jump right into the story of the episode, like that. You don't need to explain that much because you get it, and then it's just jumping into like, hey, the Krill are attacking the planet, oh crap, everyone to their stations. We don't need to go into like, oh, I don't know if I should go to my state,
Yeah, but you realize a guy like me, I see like the limited things that I know about Star Trek, and then going into this, I just see a more entertaining to me, but a shit carbon copy of what it is. Because you've got a homeboy, you know that's Worf. You got a fucking robot, you know that's Data.
Yeah.
You've got this, you know who it like. I think they could have mixed it up a little bit. I mean, I get it. They're paying homage. They're
putting them in different roles.
But, from what I know, they seem like it's just plug and play. This is a Worf guy. He's serious. This is a robot. He's a fucking idiot. He knows everything, but he doesn't.
Social interaction.
Yeah.
I will have sex with you, Alara.
So,
I got there.
But what have we got here? We got episode 6, Krill.
Yep. So
how are we jumping into that?
Yeah, let's jump right into it. So it opens in the canteen, and they're all standard. Like what I loved about some of the Star Trek episodes is off duty, like little chit chats. You know what I mean? Like like hey, what do they do off duty? But they're in. They're all hanging out in the canteen and this and then they realize that Bortus can eat anything because he has a Moclan diet, his race, that is they can just digest anything. So he eats a whole bunch of wasabi, they hand him a napkin, and then, classic B storyline. We're going to mess with this.
Oh, definitely.
Like keep watching to find out how us jokesters mess with this.
I like how they kept the scene, because you definitely could have drugged this the fuck out. But I like how they kind of kept it tight.
Yeah.
They did a couple items, and it was the napkin was a little bit weird. Because I didn't know, is that a cloth napkin?
Yeah, but then he just kind of like...
napkin? But he chomped through it.
He chomped it. Well, maybe that's showing
like
his teeth or his ability to eat anything.
It might have made it seem like a solid object, a napkin. Like you're wiping your face with cardboard.
Well, it's 2418. 19.
Oh.
Because it was 2000... Wait, I have it right here.
So we have that in...
It's 2418 when Ed walked in on his wife cheating him. Then it said 1 year later, 2419.
Nice.
Okay, so then that happens, and then typical sci-fi show fashion, once this is done, just bam, senior officers to the bridge kind of thing.
But we also got, we're touching on Homegirl's relationship a little bit. That's how this kind of starts.
From someone who's watched the first 6 episodes, that's the only mention she's had about any relationship.
Oh, I thought the last show mentioned she's trying to boink somebody.
No, she basically is just like, guys are intimidated by my strength,
right? Because
she's from a planet that has heavier gravity, so then she's like super strong for majority of other on other planets because the gravitational pull on her planet's so heavy.
Okay.
And then there was something, and then that gave Isaac the robot a chance to be like, human sex is, not human sex has always been a fascinating study to me. Beep boop bop boop bop kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like your character's a robot 101. Like these are really like you can it just fills in the blanks kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that didn't really go anywhere.
No, it didn't. It
really came from nowhere. But it just gave them a chance to...
It's just the robot. It's just showing his inexperience. It's just like, hey, man, it's interesting.
And I guess it shows that they are dating on the ship. Like it's only been 6 episodes, but I guess they're already started.
Well, you got to add a little love into it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Every episode, or every show's got to have a little bit of love.
Yeah. So there's a Krill destroyer ship attacking a nearby planet, so they go to stop it. Like that's what the alarm is, and which I think I don't know if Seth MacFarlane's trying to do it, but we learn that Captain Ed Mercer is definitely a quite tactical man. Like the plan to kind of he can't beat the ship 1-on-1, but he takes it down into the into the planet's atmosphere and then goes right up, which gets them defenseless with a kind of like a blinding streak of something.
They're stuck in a cloud of sorts.
Yeah, and then they just fired torpedoes on him, which I'm kind of like, that's a clever move. And then
I thought it was good.
and the thing is, no one said it. No one was like, nice move. Everyone was like, oh, thank God we got out of that one.
And here's my gripe. You look at the size, because the ships, they turn to shoot him, and then they do a pullback, and then you see the size of both ships.
Yeah.
So it's almost like those torpedoes should have had no effect on it because of how small they were. Like, if you did two ships that were equal size, the torpedoes from one of those ships would probably be just shy of the size of the Orville itself. So the Orville's shooting out.
I don't know. I feel
practically like little tiny bullets.
A torpedo is a torpedo, not like you know.
Right. And
like if I shot you with a bullet, and if I shot you with the bigger gun that had a bigger bullet, both bullets are going to do the same. Not one's going to do more damage.
Well, you can compact a lot of explosion into a small size shell, but look at the size of the ships.
It's an exploratory vessel. It already said it.
Whatever it is.
It's not a warship.
Well, it's not a warship, therefore it probably doesn't have that strong of ammunition.
Well, they have to protect themselves.
It was a damn good move.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It was a very crafty little go through the clouds and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I'm just not buying the size of the bullets doing that much damage.
I think there was a throwaway line that when they're in the atmosphere, shields have to go down to help compensate.
But that was for the Orville.
But he knows how ships work, and that if any ship needs to compensate there, I think there was a throwaway line that they'll need to turn there because they need to get between space and atmosphere. They need to get in that little space there. Right. And I think there's like a throwaway line that we need to put our shields down. Like that will leave us defenseless because our shields need to go down to.
Well, that was because
to compensate.
If they dump all of their things, it will take all of their power. Therefore, their shield would go down. Yes. I don't believe they said anything about the Krill ship.
But he knows how spaceships work. That they need to do it too. Unless they have some kind of special.
I don't think they would need to do it. Oh. Because the reason they had to do it was because they were letting go of so many things, not because they were going into the atmosphere.
Hold that thought. I've been dying to go. Yeah. Okay, so you were saying that you don't think that the bigger ship would need to do that whole shield compensating thing, that if...
No.
Okay. But it's also a blinding move, and I guess they can just target it like a weak spot in the front of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is, it clearly worked.
Yeah, no, it definitely worked. It blew the whole hell out of the giant ship.
So the ship blows up, and they find an intact shuttle, which is good for them. They oh, sorry, my mic fell a bit. They take it back to needs to stay on tighter. They pulled the shuttle in and they repair it, and then they take it back to what, like a space station of some sort?
They want to. I want to say it's intact and it's fully working, but
I'm sure with an explosion around it, they have to do a little tweaking.
Yeah. Well, they want
the navigation is offline, like that like one liner, like to just.
They want to get it so they can use it to trick them and find their Bible, because. Apparently, these Krill are very religious, and everything they do is from a biblical standpoint. Because I think they wanted to reverse engineer it.
No,
but then they were like, fuck it.
They honestly, okay. So this is what I took from it, and I have it written down too, but I'm going off the top of my head as well. They were looking for a way to have a peaceful negotiation with the Kree, but they don't the Krill, and they have no knowledge on them. They just know that they're very religious. That everyone else is below them. And they do everything for. What's the god's name?
I can't remember. ORVILLE or.
It's the car rental company. We kept getting a joke of that.
Oh, Avis.
Avis, yeah.
Yeah.
But they do everything for him, and. They want to learn more about them, so this is just a infiltration mission, not like that. They just want to learn because they want to have a peaceful.
Right. Well, they want to create a they want to have a treaty in a sense and have peace and all this jazz.
Yes, kind of like with the Romulans.
Yeah.
Now, so what's the plan? They have the ship, say that they're part of the destroyed ship. I have all this written down.
Yeah, but they've got some admitters, some transcoders, some shit that turns them into Krill.
Holograms.
Is it a hologram?
Yeah, it's just a little hologram thing that
okay.
turns them into Krills.
Which we come back to the regular joke. They come in and they've got Ed. One of them's got Ed hostage, and they tell homeboy what's the
yes,
name?
to eat his gun.
Yeah, they tell him to eat his gun, and it's ha ha ha. They work.
Like I gotta learn all these names, but that is
I still gotta do that too. I'm terrible with names.
Wow, I have a stutter on this one. The Mocklin Bortus. B-O Bort us.
Board us.
Well, don't say it like that.
Bortus.
Say it in one word, yeah.
Board us.
So we kind of like, let's slow down for a second, because I kind of want to, because this is a comedy, I want to not so much rate the jokes.
Wait a minute, it's a comedy?
Yeah, right? Not so much rate the jokes, but kind of like, a lot of them are just... Was this funny? Was this just a quick one?
A lot of them are just blowing past me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, because there was one that I actually had to stop, rewind, and listen again, and I was like, that was a quick one. When they were fighting the Krill ship, one of the panels went on fire, and then Ed was like, what happens to the automatic non-fire thing? Like, that was a panel that does that. And then, so I was like, funny.
Missed it.
Yeah. It was like,
boom. Right over the head.
Jokes, one of the, so one of the guys said that there's a lot of families down there. And then Malloy said there's probably a lot of single people down there too.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, yep. Yeah. And then
they're sneaking them in there a little.
Oh yeah. They're like have this under the joke section.
Huh?
And then this is something that I was like, I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. Ed said, open a hailing channel. Attention, Krill ship. This is the Orville. And then Alara was like, wait, that you're too quick. I haven't even started yet. And I was like, that's true. They do that in Star Trek all the time. Like, open a hailing panel.
I did
Attention,
notice that.
Vulcan, and they're like, no, give me a fucking second. This is a new ship.
That's true.
That
one I liked. I like that.
Control, command. Hold on a sec. Let me just. How do you hail again? Is it Control H kind of thing? That they have to receive as well. It's not just on them.
It's not this automatic.
It's a phone
thing.
call. It's a phone call.
You got to ring. You got to let them pick up. You can't just say, call Matt. Hey, Matt, what's going on? Oh, there you are. Let's start. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a TV thing.
So the Bible is called the, Anhkana. Anhkana. It's the Krill Bible.
Anhkana.
Sure. I'll just call it the Krill Bible from now on.
That'll work. I can remember that name.
So we get the hologram with that joke on it, and then away they go, which is like it's a smart move, but I don't know.
I mean, it's the craftiest move they have, because they hate humans, right? Isn't there a human sacrifice in this fucking thing?
That's when they get there to prayer, when they find a human spy kind of thing. Yeah, but I think they hate all races, because they said that everyone is below them.
Okay,
because
even better.
Their religious order is about them taking over.
There was talk later on about the soul. Humans don't something. They don't have a soul because there was something. They were saying people don't have souls for some fucking... When he was teaching the kids and shit.
Oh, Earthlings don't have souls?
Yeah, but... So... Something else that stuck out. I like the little back and forth about we need names. So what are we going to be?
Yeah.
called?
So that So I have that written
names?
Here. No. Well, yeah. They had a bunch of like that doesn't sound like an alien name, and then they had a bunch of unwritable mumbo jumbo where they.
Right.
It was probably the two of them just doing improv, kind of like Larksney leap.
And then they decide on what?
Chris and Devon.
Chris and Devon.
Yes. But in that scene from the ship, from flying the shuttle to the destroyer, I have the name of a ship somewhere, they kind of talk about the Krills and how they're mainly because of the planet is polluted, so they're mainly a night race because they've evolved.
Yeah, well, they talk about that later on when they.
But this is introducing the gun that goes off in the third act. Like this is,
right?
You know what I mean? Like
no, I get
this is the redwood seed used in the first act to go off in the. Remember in the first episode we just watched?
I didn't recall the redwood seed ever being talked about.
Oh well,
I mean, I'm sure it was.
That's just writing 101, which I've told you many times. If you're gonna have a gun, it has to go. If you show it, what is it? If you show a gun in the first act, it goes off in the third.
I guess.
If you so that's how they're talking about how the Krill don't like sunlight.
Yeah.
And then
but when they bring it up later on, they act like they act like they just found that out.
No, they just remembered it because they were thinking of a way to stop them. Anyway, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
So then they put on they start talking about their names and that's a good point. They don't know what kind of names they have.
Right. More of that comedy stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
That I was talking about.
Ooh.
Less of that serious stuff.
The Krill makeup is pretty good.
You liked it?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty bang on.
Just like Bortus.
Really?
But blue.
White or blue,
white,
blue or white.
That mix was. It looks exactly the same, unless I'm just not used to Bortus yet.
Yeah, maybe.
But it does look pretty fucking similar.
So we board the Yakar.
Mm-hmm.
Destroyer, and they get on and they get pulled to the captain right away because the captain wants to talk to them and find out what happened. And then we get the classic doorway gag where two people try to walk through the door at once.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? And it's like, and I'm like, automatically like, you guys aren't fucking serious. Like,
yeah, they are.
You know,
because
do you know what I mean? Like. No. I mean, like, if I was the captain and I'm like,
right. Well, you need a little leeway. And they get a pass
because they said that they were on they were in the shuttle when the ship
survivors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in the shuttle when the ship got destroyed. That's their story, and they're sticking to it.
Now is this Krill colony or whatever? Is it large enough to where you could just forget a Devin and a Chris? Like, is the population of these fucks so big?
These ships?
Well, the population of the Krill race that interact with each other.
Okay.
So, in this instance, we're talking about the ship that they landed on and the ship that they blew up. Obviously, they're large ships, but is it so large to where you're going to miss a Devin and a Chris? You see what I'm saying?
Not really.
So, you're at work, the work that you currently have.
Yeah.
Right? You know everybody that works there.
Yeah.
Small ship. Let's call the eatery a ship. And then let's say you go work for Applebee's. And you've got everything in the county. You know, like, and you guys interact and all this shit. If somebody that works at one of the other company or at the other Applebee's is named Harmonoff, you're gonna be like, oh, Harmonoff, like, yeah, that's Harmonoff. You see what I'm saying? So if these two ships are from the same race, they interact, they talk. They've got, you know, these people live over here. These people are the attackers, and the guy being the head in charge, you would think he would know a Devin and a Chris outside of a Schmemlack and a Sparkabark. You see what I'm saying?
I guess
the uniquity of the name should stand out to this guy, and he should be like, Poppycock.
I guess because they were like, those are strange names.
Right.
They did make that, like, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose, but I guess they're just kind of sticking with their ship, not kind of like, you know, he's got 3,000 people he's probably looking after, 3,000 Krill men and women. And women, yeah.
Oh, indeed. They're going to fight too.
And kids. So
yes.
they basically were like, we prayed to Avis that someone would save us, and I was like, that's a smart move, because, you know, they're religious.
Yep.
I'm touching my nose. Good
That's
job.
And they meet a little Krill lady, which I think Homeboy's fallen a little in love with her. I've got that in my notes. He seems...
Which one?
He seems
Ed
a little schmitten.
or Malloy?
I would think it would be Malloy.
Okay.
Not 100% sure, but upon their first interaction, one of them seemed a little sweet on her, which was weird because there was not much interaction before he was becoming sweet on her.
Now, before that happened... Okay, yeah, so they went in and, yeah, they they got taken to church almost, right?
Right.
And that's where they met her, who has a brother in the ship that they supposedly have just came from.
Uh-huh.
So then they said they were friends with them and all that. But so the idea is to take a photo of every picture from this Bible.
Yeah, I think they originally thought that they could just go in and find a Bible. Well, because it said that on every ship there's one of these Bibles.
Yeah.
So I think they originally thought that they could just find it and take it.
Which,
But
looking at it now, they could not.
they could. What was it, like a fucking tablet?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're not going to take a tablet.
But you think the future has another way of scanning a book with all the information in it besides just... Like, it was a funny gag, but...
Oh, but you're missing it. They're probably not making books. There's no trees to harvest paper. Everything is electronic. We're in 2419.
I suppose.
See? The last tree blew up a ship.
That's a good point. Trees are dangerous.
That's
Krills hate trees.
Yeah. Krills don't like trees.
But
So
I don't know. I feel like they could have had something that could just scan a copy of something, and then because they have the
What, did he pull out a fucking iPhone?
No, but they have. Oh no, but if they have the technology for a replica, in one of the ones I know they have it because Tyrese gets something, but they have a device that they can just go beep, Big Mac, and then the computer makes a replicated Big Mac, and it tastes like that. If they can do that, clearly they just need to scan the book.
Mm-hmm. They didn't come prepared for it because they originally thought they were just going to pick it up and leave.
I suppose.
So
Anyway, they're taking a photo
weren't
of
ready
each
for it,
page, which I thought was, like, ha ha ha.
Yeah. Plotline.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
suppose.
Oh, don't get all
And then they get interrupted by the high priest, who then becomes suspicious of them.
Of course.
Which, once again, not quick enough, in my opinion, high priest. So they decide to sneak again at night, but during that night sneak, you see the captain and the high priest talking about Chris and Devon.
Yes.
Which I'm just kind of like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, have a guard on it at all times?
Of course. Gotta have a guard on it.
Now, here's the important parts.
Mm-hmm.
When the guard shows up, they realize that the hologram isn't working.
Right.
That's when I'm shitting my pants, because you just saw that severed head in the fucking last church scene. You know what I mean? Like, you're screwed if you get seen.
Oh, yeah.
Which, okay.
Oh, you're fucked.
A spoiler when Malloy gets found out towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why aren't they just killing him right away? I know they're looking for the other guy, but just, if these guys are so disgusting to them, just kill him.
They need answers. They need answers. They need to know where this technology. They want to know.
An arm or a leg for it.
No, but they want to know why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? There's answers, man.
So
James Bond.
Which, this is a good plot point. Their devices went down because of a large, powerful energy thing 2 decks below them, which then they find out is a huge bomb that they're going to test on a nearby planet of about, so many people and farmers. Yeah, a nice peaceful race that they're going to try it on.
Right.
Law. Now, when they were talking about what they're going to do with this bomb, they mentioned that they already have the Bible. Let's go. So they finished it? That's what I want to know.
I guess.
They said we already have the Bible, because Ed wants to do something about the bomb, because it's going to be blew up on these. How did they talked to the sister?
They talked to the girl. They got a little information out of her.
Yeah.
They asked about the bomb. They asked about the Bible. Blah blah blah. And then the kids were introduced at some point. Because
she's a teacher and she wants to talk to. She wants them to talk about
the expedition they were on, the fight, what it is, the humans.
Sister asked them to talk to her trainee, showing that there are children on the ship, because he said he doesn't, that there's women and children on the planet.
Right.
We need to destroy the ship before they get there,
because
they were going to detonate the bomb in the planet, on the ship. But then they were like, oh, we can't do that,
right?
Because there's kids now,
right? There's
innocence, and Captain Ed Mercer is one thing but a child killer.
That's it. Not at all. We do not kill children.
Yeah.
And that's And that's when they start plotting around, figuring out how else can they go about this.
And then
we bring out the gun.
they remember the gun, that they don't like sunlight, and that they are space vampires.
Well, it was the kids who brought it to them.
Yes,
Remember
they
the
asked.
kids were asking about human stuff, and then they started, oh, well, your skin's darker because there's no light, and some other shit, and they're like, oh, aha. Yeah.
Okay, where are we? So, they realize that they can turn right, Rob.
Yes.
We're humans,
We are.
and we are on a spaceship.
Uh-huh.
You're building the spaceship.
Okay.
And what's our weakness?
Probably everything.
Okay. Would you have an ability? Okay, I can't think of an example, but there is a way for Malloy to go to this computer and turn up the UV light that damages them to a point of death.
Uh-huh.
Why is that even a function on this spaceship? Because that's the plan. That's the plan. They go. Malloy's like, I can go to a computer and I can have it rigged for 10 minutes to.
So I don't think it's a function as much as it is an oversight, because we have power outlets in our house. Yes.
Yeah.
We all have some plugs.
Yeah.
And they're not meant to do it, but you do have the ability, if you so desire, to plug in too many things and cause problems. So there's always a workaround for something.
Uh-huh.
Just like the laptops here, they're only meant to do so much shit. But if I decide to open 300 windows and try to run 200 flash games and all this shit, my computer's going to shut down.
Okay.
So there's a way. There should be a way to do it. But it's probably not your average, just like 2 clicks and you're there. It's going to look like that on TV.
No, but I'm talking about him knowing that there's a function to turn on the thing that kills these alien people.
Oh, that's just to save time.
No, but I mean, why do these aliens, or why do these, why do the Krill have the measurements to kill them on their own spaceship? It's not like it's a gun. This is literally a lighting that they know is lethal to them. They should just be like, no, the lighting. Okay, the UV light is 10.
Mm-hmm.
They need 2 or 3, level 2 or 3 light to survive.
Right.
It shouldn't be able to go up higher than 5.
Well, you don't think it's going to get into anybody's hands.
Even make.
Okay, so all houses should not have any cleaning products.
No, but I feel like.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel like you're the guy who made the ship, right? I'm the captain. I'm kind of like, but and here's the panel that can turn on the UV lights. Like, why do we even have that? Well, why? Why do you have cleaning supplies in your place? It's dangerous, but we should still have it. Like, why? We don't need it. We're better than any other race. No other race is gonna need this because we don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it on ours?
It's just how it works. It just is what it is. It's not. It's not one of those things that can really be argued because it's very easily put to rest. It's just how it's made.
Nope. Don't.
Okay. So a guitar amp.
Yep.
If I turn a guitar amp to 10, I can completely blow it.
Yep.
Why make the guitar amp go up to 10?
But you can't completely blow it if it goes up to 10.
You can completely blow the speakers out. If you connect things and you turn it up too loud, you can blow the speakers. Why give the guitar amp the ability to do that? Because the settings you're supposed to have it at, you're supposed to be knowledgeable because you can turn it up to 10. But if you turn the bass, the treble, and everything else up to 10 as well, you're going to fuck your speaker up. So it is completely made to safely be used at 10 if you do it right.
It's not gonna. This will literally kill them. I feel that.
Right.
That
will literally kill the amp.
I feel like if we were an alien race that would have literally with that a 10 amp would kill us. We would recreate it so that it wouldn't get that high.
No, because we've been creating guitar amps for years.
No, but now we're a race that
is perfectly fine as long as you don't abuse the settings.
So Malloy sets it for 10 minutes.
Well, it's like you're trying to argue this point, and you can't just overlook it. Like you have to come to terms with it. Either it's like, okay, I get it, or
no, I don't get it, because if it's lethal to me, I'm gonna fix it to a point where it's no longer gonna be potentially lethal.
The car is lethal to you, but you drive it.
But okay, But so is the ship. The ship's lethal because they're still in it.
Right, and if you erratically use it,
so
it will kill you.
So, okay, wait, let me take an example for the car. My car can't go loud enough to kill me. Like,
you
the
can
music
drive
will.
it.
No. Hear me out. The music. It can't go over 20, right? It literally can't go loud enough to kill me.
Right.
Now, if there was an infinite spin on it, like if I could infinitely turn it up louder and louder and louder, it would eventually kill me. Yes, because it would blow all my ears out and I would get damage and stuff.
Right.
Now, this is what the light is doing to them.
Mm-hmm.
The light is going up to them infinitely higher and higher and higher, and it burns them and they die. Since my music dial only goes up to 20 and I can't infinitely turn it up, why are they... Do you get me?
I get what you're saying, but you're
cool.
downplaying the whole... I get what you're saying, but you're downplaying the whole thing. This ship was made, whether it goes up to 100 or 10 or lethal or not. The idea
they made the ship.
Yes, and they are going to be the only ones in control of it.
Then why even bother having it?
Because it doesn't fucking matter.
Superman doesn't have kryptonite around him.
Don't get into Superman.
No, but he doesn't have kryptonite around him.
Don't get into Superman.
He doesn't have kryptonite around him because he's like...
He was born on a planet called Krypton. Where does kryptonite come from? What planet does it come from?
Have you seen Man of Steel? Have you seen Man of Steel?
Yeah.
Okay. He's not used to it, and it changes his body. That's why it's his weakness. He's used to being on Earth, so he's used to Earth's atmosphere, which makes him super strong, and the sunlight. And when shards of his own planet come towards him, it makes him weak because he goes back to being normal, pretty much, kind of.
Okay.
Now it's the reverse for fucking General Zod. When he shows up and he gets on Earth, he gets super strong, but he can't control it because it's all happening at once.
Right.
So it's like a reverse. So that's what happened. Anyway, that's off topic completely.
It is, because Superman has a whole bunch of plot points. Go back and listen to our episode about Superman and how terrible of a person he is. But
we're sticking on this
because I don't see how you don't get it. Us as humans, we make poisonous things. We make poisonous things to clean, to go into our car, to fuel our vehicles, to do fucking everything. Everything except for water and juice is pretty much fucking poisonous to us. Hell, even water will kill us. But what I'm saying is we make them...
Juice is good.
Because you can still drown in juice.
Yeah.
Everybody, remember this.
Be careful.
It only takes an inch of water.
Be careful, guys.
Right? Do you know that?
It takes an
inch of water to drown.
Yeah, I know that.
It's on most buckets with a hilarious photo of babies falling into it.
Oh.
Look at any Home Depot bucket. However, we make poisonous shit, but we know better. But it's still available. That's just how things work. It's called the trust system.
So fucking delete all that out.
We're not. That's all staying in.
So Malloy sets it for 10 minutes. He sets a timer for the lights to turn on in 10 minutes because they decided that they want to do this and keep the children safe in the classroom.
Oh, definitely.
Because they don't want to kill kids.
Oh, fuck no.
So the plan is turn on all the lights super high for some reason in the whole ship except for the classroom. So they want all the kids to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to run onto the bridge and then take off and then fucking stop the bomb. That's the plan.
Yeah.
After Malloy sets the timer, he gets discovered. He gets stabbed in his new leg. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah. Do we have mention in the first 5 episodes of
in the multiple
legs?
In the last episode.
How many legs has he had?
No, in the last episode. I don't know if you watched it with Charlize Theron.
I'd have to rewatch it. Yeah, I gave up on that one. I just ran out of time.
The B plot was practical jokes between Malloy and the robot Isaac.
Uh-huh.
So he did a practical joke on putting like Mr. Potato Head stuff on his face, and then Isaac did a practical joke on him by amputating his leg. In a scientific world of
good joke.
In a scientific world of anything can be regrown.
It's a good prank. Now, do these people know each other from previous ships?
No.
So this has all happened within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
that they started playing practical jokes enough to cut his fucking leg off.
Yeah. No, he's a robot. He's like, because he's like, let me tell you what a practical joke is. And he's like, now it's your turn. You have to get me. I shall think of something and get you back tenfold. Ha ha ha. Like,
cut his leg off.
And then which he was mad at first, and then after a while he was like, you know what? Solid prank. Anyway, that I was like, oh, cool. It's continuing.
If we know knives can destroy our legs, why would we make a knife sharper? So, he makes a joke about having another leg.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like the joke. Even though I didn't understand it, I didn't tie it in. It's still a solid standalone joke. Oh, don't get mad.
Now. Timer set for 10 minutes, and they made it on the bridge. Malloy gets stopped by the priest, finds hologram device, and sets off the alarm. Captain stabs him in the leg, gag from last week, so that's a brand new leg. And then, like, once again, remember I said at the start of this, they really didn't give him enough credit for being an awesome tactical captain.
Right.
They don't give him any credit for his espionage skills.
No, not at all.
He's fucking, like, single-handedly taking down about, like, okay, in the start of this season, one of the reasons why she had an affair was because he's too much into his job.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I guess you have to be good at.
Yeah.
But he's taken on about 5-6 Krill aliens, like, hand to hand, and then shooting them from a fucking far.
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking captain. You don't become captain because you're lazy.
Well, he's a badass captain.
Damn right.
But then, so he's doing that because there's a kid who's in his quarters that he needs to get to the fucking classroom. So he's running around looking for the kid, which he does. Yada yada. It goes off. They fucking look like Buffy the Vampire.
Oh yeah, they call
vampires.
They call them that. The vampire.
They call them space vampires.
Yeah.
And then they stop the bomb. Everyone's happy. Everyone's
definitely
great. And then fucking.
We hit a to be continued, don't we?
Well, they've all been kind of like that.
Oh, have they?
All the episodes, they've all been kind of like, not like a textbook happiness ending, but it ends with the sister in the sickbay of the ship, who we don't know if she's a prisoner or not. Which I'm thinking she's going to turn into
she's going to be a love interest.
No, well, not that, but I think she might turn into a. Okay, Mars theories here. She might turn into, because in the Star Trek Voyager, they have a character called 7 of 9, who is, so she's an alien race called the Borg, which is like a robot race that takes over everything and turns them into them. Okay. But she is disconnected from them, so she's like a good Borg. So I'm thinking maybe she might turn into like a good Krill.
Kind of like Android 18? Wait, what is it? Android 18?
18. What's the word I'm looking for?
Disassociated?
No, when you change. I'll think of it. But
reprogrammed?
But she makes a real good point where, because he was like, I was trying to save the kids. We were there for peace. So Ed said that he sent the kids back to their families. Nice little line, peaceful line. But then she makes a good point, like, you've just turned all of them into they've all been scarred from war now because you killed everyone on their ship.
Yes,
like that.
Yes. I thought that was an interesting little.
And I was like, they're all thinking like, well, fuck humans, we're gonna get them. Like, they just look what they just did.
Right, because it was something about they're gonna remember this and they're gonna love us for it or something like this, and then it was I'm like, they're gonna remember you.
Seeing what they did to their crew, they are no longer innocents in this war. Dark ending. That's what I've written down. That's the last thing I've written down about this episode.
Look at that dark ending.
That dark ending.
Darkness is what killed him.
Oh.
See how that ties in there?
Not really.
They both have the word dark.
They do. Why would they have the word dark?
Well, because that played against them and
Rob,
they died.
What was your, let's change things up here. What was your favorite part about this episode?
Favorite part about this episode? I don't know. Okay,
so wait. So
I thought it was written well. I'm still getting into it.
So let's do favorite part and then favorite joke.
It's
a comedy.
Couldn't give you a favorite part.
Ooh.
Also, probably just the leg.
The leg? You liked the leg even though you
I don't know why. It's probably stood out like It was a funny thing to hear.
Yeah.
About
My favorite part was probably showing how Captain Ed Mercer, Seth MacFarlane, can be like, you know, he's not a badass, but he's good at what he does.
No, he's no Bond, but
he's no Bond, but
he's
he has confidence.
He definitely has confidence.
And then my
Couldn't do that
favorite
without
joke was either probably the panel that puts out the fire being on fire, that kind of little throwaway, or no, I think that was it. Yeah.
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 Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad show. I mean,
we're gonna keep watching it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep watching it. We're gonna keep talking about it, see what goes on.
Hashtag the Orville.
But yeah.
Let us know what you thought of the episode.
Definitely let us know.
You can email us at themarspod@gmail.com.
Are there any fan theories out there? Is there anything going on? Do you guys think...
Well...
Is anybody writing any fan fiction for this yet? What's going on?
Well, there's already a wiki world. Do you know how there's like a Wookiee for the Star Wars world?
No. I'm not surprised, but no.
But so there's already like a wiki Orville where, you know, you can look up the different races and stuff.
Right. I think it's a bit early for that, but whatever.
First seen in this episode is first seen in that. You know, like look up an alien race and like, oh, these alien races are predominantly this, and they're first seen in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody plotting out a fucking solar system for all this already.
Yeah, absolutely. There has to be.
There's some shit. I mean, God, let it get a season or two deep. That way you have some shit, but I mean, I get it.
Hey, we're contributing by doing a podcast on it, so.
Yeah. And it's only going to get better.
Ooh.
Robert's going to learn their names.
How many characters can you name right now?
Ed.
Okay, next. All right, my turn. You ready?
Boredom. What's his name?
Okay. Oh, that's going to be tough with my stutter. Bortus. Lieutenant Bortus, sorry. Then there's, Lieutenant Commander Bortus. Lieutenant Isaac. There's Lieutenant Lamar. Gordon Malloy. Ed Mercer. Kelly Grayson. Dr. Claire
Danes.
Brian. I want to say Brian or O'Brien. I think O'Brien's too easy. Alara, the head of security. And I forget the head engineer's name, who is not on the bridge, but
Tony.
He's a big-ish actor. You might know him.
Oh, the guy from the first season? Or the first episode?
Kind of heavy-set guy.
The older man?
Heavy-set guy, kind of talks like this.
I don't know anything about that. The old guy seemed familiar from the first
old
episode.
Guy?
I don't know. He was standing there.
Oh, fucking Raj's dad from The Big Bang Theory.
That's him.
Yeah.
That is him.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But no, that's not him. He's not a recurring character.
Oh, no? He's a one-off?
He's done.
Oh, shit.
Probably died on his way back to the space lab.
Not surprised.
Yeah, so no, I try to learn my characters' names. Anyway,
good.
Wrap up this first one. We can get on to our second one.
Indeed.
Thanks for listening, everybody. As I said, email us at themarspod@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at themarspod. And then we're on iHeartRadio, aren't we?
iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, all under the Mars.
All under the Mars.
And give us a listen, subscribe, rate and review. Let us know.
We're going to be doing this show, which is unnamed, probably just what the Mars does, Orville, or Orvilleing around the Mars.
Yeah,
we're going to give it a different title. It's going to be on the same feed.
Yeah, for now we're going to keep everything on the same feed. We're going to have our main show, but we're also going to shoot off and do this show.
But if you found us because of the hashtag the Orville, maybe check out our other show and let us know what you think. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it worse than you thought?
Definitely.
Let us know.
Yep. We've been on for about a year, roughly a year. We got an extensive back catalog, but bear with us. Neither of us come from extra podcasts and doing this, so we're still learning. We're still getting our voices down. Some of the older episodes are a little more intense. They're a little longer, but yeah, check it out or subscribe to us, and just when the Orville comes out, listen to that. Delete the other ones. Whatever works out. If this catches enough steam, then we can shoot off and make another channel. And I think we're gonna pick shows.
After this?
Once the Orville's over, if we have another one that we like, we might go ahead and touch on that.
I definitely want to keep off the mainstream. Like, you did mention you want to do Walking Dead. That's fine. I can do Walking Dead.
I mean, I don't want to be the Walking Dead thing, but like, you know, just
No, but it's not like
segment.
we're not huge fans. You are a huge fan of The Walking Dead.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're like, yeah, let's jump on the bandwagon. You are probably one of the biggest fans I know of The Walking Dead. So
I enjoy it. But yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
We'll catch you later. And are we getting a new image for this one? Should we just have the Orville?
I said.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Haha.